Hello, Sherman here. Leave a Legacy, episode number 44. Going to talk about deliberate career progression. I was talking with one of my most recent hires in 2016, and we were going through the kind of just reviewing the history of how he and I connected. And it was his sophomore year of college that he and I first had a conversation about potentially looking at an internship program at our firm. It just wasn't the right timing based on where he was going to be living and where the internship was going to be located. And so we still kept in contact. So we met, and then a few months later, he actually reached out to me, wanted to see, just checking in, see how things are going. Thought that was extremely professional. And then a few months later, I reached out to him because we did have an internship opportunity available for the upcoming summer, and it just didn't work out based on where he was at. But fast forward a few months later, as the opportunity arose where he was actually going to be living for college his junior year, we had an opportunity to start doing an internship program that he and I basically created, with him still being able to go to college, still being able to do his other part-time job, and then adding this in on quote unquote downtime. The interesting thing about it is that as he looked at his career, and what's interesting is he even mentioned that he didn't necessarily know exactly where he wanted to go from a career perspective, but he knew that he wanted this to be one of his options. And when he looked at this option in financial services, he knew he had to get licensed in life insurance, health insurance, a Series 7, which is individual investments, and then a Series 66, which allows you to charge fees and is a state registration license. And so he knew that he needed those four, at least, to get into the industry as an entry-level position with our firm. And so what he started to do his junior year was he started studying while he was doing that internship as well. And so by the time he was done in that 1 year, he'd actually got his life license. And by the next spring, he'd gotten his health license. And then when it came to graduation, we were able to introduce him to some other financial advisors, and he actually was able to connect with one of the senior financial advisors and set up a succession plan and a team. So in the next 5 to 7 years from when he would start, he would then take over this entire book of business over time and be able to be under the mentorship of a senior advisor. And so it was interesting talking with him because he did exactly what you wanted to do. He was in college, and he said, you know what, this is where I think I might want to go. And because he saw where he wanted to go and where he was, and he knew that he needed a life license, a health license, a Series 7, a 66, and he needed to start networking in order to have a career over here. He started doing those things slowly over time and getting some experience working with, during the internship, he worked with the advisors. So he was able to get a firsthand experience. Did he really want to do this career? And so I want you to think about that in your own lives. You might already be working, you might want to do your own side hustle and turn that into an entrepreneurship, or you might be in college. And so what you want to identify for yourself is, if you have an idea of where you want to go, what small little steps incrementally can you do now to be able to get yourself ready for that career and that spot that you want to go? So for example, if you have this side hustle where you want to start your own business, do you have enough money set aside? Are you going to be borrowing money? Do you have a business plan? Do you know where you're going to go? Do you know your market? Do you know how you're going to generate sales and revenue? So that deliberate career path will really start opening up the more that you make those specific moves towards that end goal. Now, it might not mean that you have the definitive answer, the specifics of exactly what you're trying to create. Again, if let's say throughout that process he got licensed and he decided, hey, you know what? I'm not clicking with anybody over here. I don't want to take this position. Well, guess what? Now we can go to almost any financial services company at their corporate office or with another company on the sales side and add value immediately over his counterparts that just graduated from college because he had his licensing, which is extremely a valuable tool to have. And so he already put himself a leg up above his other counterparts graduating at the exact same time because he took a deliberate career path. And so I encourage you to do the exact same thing for you. The question that I have for the community as a whole, and feel free to message me, is what are the different things that you're going to do to deliberately move your career forward? Have a fantastic day, everybody.